Greetings to everyone who joined this meeting, who is listening on YouTube or Facebook. Welcome to another Zoom meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. We will start with Felicia Chan from Malaysia. Cannot hear you. You have to unmute your microphone.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have question for today. Thank you for your teaching. Sadhu, sadhu.
I'll go to your friend York Bay from New York. York Bay.
Good evening, brother.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So far, I'm remain with the same thing, and our hotel still very busy. I have two questions for my friend. One is how come the mom is not put the shoes or slipper on the street?
It's ancient tradition. It was practiced during the time of the Buddha. I think monks are supposed to be beggars, so we should not dress it like a rich person. You know, we have to act poor in order for people to have sympathy for us. But nowadays, monks sometimes have Mercedes Benz and they have private plane. That's because they forgot their root, you know.
Okay. The second thing, how come for the woman rebirth with the child they already dead? What is the karma from her?
You repeat the question again?
No, I mean the woman's the rebirth with the baby is dead. It's already dead. How come?
Baby die during birth.
Yeah.
If it's not done intentionally, it's not bad karma. It's considered to be accidental. But if the mother has intention to kill the baby, then this is bad karma. This is killing, breaking the precept.
And for example, sometimes the baby is not enough month to give birth, 5 months or 7 months. Is something wrong with the baby?
Well, it could be many causes. Sometimes the mother also can cause the baby not to be fully formed.
Okay, thank you. There's two questions I have. Thank you. Sadhu,
okay. Next, Kokseng from Malaysia or Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn from Singapore. I'm happy to attend the meeting to maintain my faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. I have no questions at the moment. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Alvin Lee from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have no questions, so thank you.
Okay. Nanapat from Thailand, Ubon Ratchathani.
No question ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ just listening in ค่ะ
Okay, Lillian, long time no see you from Bangkok. What happened to you?
Life is back to normal, so everything is a bit off for Tuesday. But so glad to be back in the meeting again.
Okay, good to see you.
But since it's Kaupansa, I just want to pledge to spend more time with the Dhamma and meditation as well.
Well, you have to be more specific, not too general, you know.
At least 1 hour of meditation per day.
Okay, you know, something like that, something tangible, not something vague, you know. Then you are deluding yourself. You pledge yourself vaguely what you want to do, you know, because you can wiggle around, right? But if you say you have to meditate one hour a week, then you're stuck with that.
Yeah.
Good, you know. This is called Adhitthana in Buddhism. Adhitthana Barami, one of the 10 perfections. You have to make a pledge, or make a plan on what you're gonna do. Then you have to be honest with yourself. This is called Satya Barami, honesty or truthfulness. Satya. If you just make a pledge and you're not honest or truthful with yourself, you can pretend to forget, and not do what you pledge to do.
Yes, correct.
So you must have both in order to be able to do what you pledge to do.
Yep.
You have to be honest with yourself, or true to yourself.
Yep,
You must not lie to yourself.
that's true.
Then you also need to have what you call virya, which means effort. You have to exert. You have to be diligent. You have to be diligent to do what you pledge to do. And if you have difficulty, you must endure. You have to endure the difficulty, not to use it as an excuse not to do it.
Really can come up with a lot of excuses.
Yes. So these are the four perfection which will drive your pledges, drive your good karma, like meditation, keeping the precepts, or dana, or sila. You have to make a pledge first. If you don't, then you can excuse yourself. Oh, I didn't make any pledge, so you can do it, or you don't have to do it. But then you won't be advancing if you do it like this. But you want to advance steadily, then you have to make pledges and increase the amount or intensity of your practice more and more.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a tip for you too.
Thank you very much.
All right. Kafalim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajahn. I have no questions for today. Thank you.
Okay. Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
Oh, Brother Ken. May I?
Don't be.
Don't be Suchart.
Please, Ajahn. Thank you for your advice. Ajahn, I would like to ask your advice on something when we continue to practice over a long time. If you could advise, how can we assess whether we are progressing in a good way?
At least you're doing it. You're not stopping it. This is one way to measure your practice, that you are consistent with your practice, and you are increasing more and more of your practice, and you are advancing, you're progressing. And also the result from your practice should make you calmer, have more equanimity, less defilement, less anger, less greed, for instance. This is something you can use to measure your progress.
Okay.
Or more specific, that you are seeing things clearer. You see dukkha clearer in the world. You see dukkha in everything. The more you see dukkha, then the more you want to abandon or relinquish them, having nothing to do with them.
Okay.
Okay. How are you in terms of this measurement?
Yeah, my measurement I've been using is, or I've noticed that things that previously would irritate me a lot or make me angry have less effect. I can accept things more without reacting too much.
Don't blame others, blame yourself for being irritated.
I think that's one major thing I've turned around. Instead of blaming other people, look for the source in here.
Yes.
In here.
Your defilement is the one that causes your irritation, not other people. Other people might just spark the irritation, but the fire is inside. Your defilement is the one.
Yeah, I think I've been seeing that more and more as I practice more.
Good. So I hope you keep maintaining the level of your practice and increase them if you can. But don't lessen your practice.
No,
it's possible. Always pushing it ahead, pushing it for more, until you can do it 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all. Thank you.
All right. Alfredo Ubeca from Brazil, Sao Paulo.
Hi, Bante.
Sadhu.
Sadhu.
How are you?
It's okay.
Good. Then no problem, right? No dukkha. No dukkha.
No, in word I have dukkha, but I prefer practice, né, Bante? The word is not so good with me. Other persons have other lives, other kinds of life. It's different. This is a Buddhist life, né, Bante? Buddhist life is different, né, Bante? Or
yes,
no?
It's a peaceful life. Buddhist life is a peaceful, non-violent life.
Yes.
We don't use violence to solve problems.
Yes.
We use negotiation. We use metta to solve problems. Loving kindness.
Yes. Yes. It's difficult for me. It's difficult to a practice of meditation to have the same level that persons looks for material things and other things. But the other person is more is more effective in your jobs, Bante. My job is meditation, Bante. My job is yes.
Good. You're lucky you don't have to do any work.
Yes.
Okay, keep meditating all day long.
Thanks, Bante.
Okay. I'll go to the next person, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bruce Lee from Indonesia.
Evening, Ajahn. I don't have any question for now. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Manuel. I like correctly pronouncing. Mamio. I'm sorry. She used to be a doctor, now she's a Machi. Mamio.
นมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ I don't have any question.
Okay. But she doesn't live in a monastery. She built her own monastery. She built a house, and then she lives in the house.
Yes ท่านอาจารย์
You find okay, peaceful?
Yes, very peaceful because I stay alone and I can meditate all day long.
Okay, good. You find that your decision, do you regret your decision to become a Machi?
Pardon?
Do you regret your decision to become a Machi?
It's the best decision in my life.
Okay. Congratulations.
สาธุค่ะ Thank you for your teaching.
Okay. Matthew Khan from DC, Washington, DC.
Hi, Ajahn.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, I have no questions today. Thank you.
Your partner's gone to work, or she working at home?
No, she's here.
Emily.
Yeah, she's right here.
Okay.
Hi, Ajahn.
Hi. Not working today?
I'm looking for new work, actually.
Looking for new work. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're drawing unemployment right now, benefit.
I'm about to, yes.
Okay. Hope you find a new job soon.
I will.
Or maybe you don't want to.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Then you have time to practice. If you don't work, then
Yes.
you have time to practice.
Yes, the job was a lot, and I didn't have a lot of time. So now I have some more space.
I quit working already. I never went back to work. When I quit my last job. When I take this new job as being a monk, then I don't need to look for any other job anymore.
This is probably more fulfilling.
Yeah. A lot easier also. Not much to do.
Yes, that's correct.
Just going on arms round once a day. But the hard work is in fighting with your own defilement. That's the hard work. The physical work is not so hard, but fighting against your craving, that's the most difficult work in the world. If you can beat it, then you have achieved something, something marvelous, something great, to be able to overcome your cravings. So try to do it if you can. Okay?
I will. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. You have any questions, Matt?
No questions right now. Thank you.
Okay. I'll go to Sarah Ann from Singapore.
I just came back. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I came back from Thailand. I tried to find a monastery and to have a place to practice together. Actually, not really to practice together, but kind of like have a community. But it was very tough. I think I'm so used to the comfort of Singapore. The water was not sanitized and so on, so I got infected and it was quite bad. So I had to go back to Bangkok and eventually I came back to Singapore. So yeah, this is what I just find that taking care of the body to a certain extent may be necessary for certain people, I'm not sure. But this afternoon I heard your Thai talk. You were saying about like people look for things, they buy shoes, they buy clothes, and it's never enough. So I just don't know the kind of balance that is required.
Well, you ask yourself if it is necessary to have them or not. Can you live without them? If you can live without them, then you should have them. Just have only the essential, what you really need. Anything more than that, then if you don't need it, then don't buy it. Give your money to charity. You get better result from spending money on charity than spending on yourself. Because by spending on yourself, it's never enough. You want to spend more and more. But you spend on charity, you stop spending very quickly.
Yes. And Ajahn, one thing that you said about, because I didn't really do a lot of dana this time in Thailand. Subtly, I still have a lot of my mental burden that I'm staying there for free and I'm just eating the food that the monks eat. Suddenly, I still have this kind of burden, and then the infection wouldn't go away for a long time because I think I was fighting a lot. In the mind, I was like, okay, I will just hang on. I just want to do merits here. I just want to practice here. But then the infection get worse. And then when I changed my mind, I said, okay, I will give out. I will go back to Singapore. And then suddenly the wounds just dry up. And then I was like, okay, now I'm okay already. Now I continue to stay in Thailand. And then another infection came up. So I don't know, is it because of this mental stress that I was causing conflict in myself that is making me unable to stay in the temple.
Only because your mind is still being driven by your cravings, so you cannot stay put. You have to do something, go somewhere. So this restlessness is the one that causes you not to be able to stay in the monastery. So when you stay in the monastery, you have to use mindfulness to stop your thoughts. Because if you can start your thought, then you can stop your cravings. And your mind will become calm and content and happy. That's the purpose of going to a monastery, to meditate, to practice mindfulness. And if you don't do this, then you beat the purpose of going to the monastery. Useless. If you don't practice, then your mind will be restless, agitated.
I try to practice actually I think I practice a little bit more when I'm there because there's nothing much to do. I kind of like it's more restrained, but the tension is definitely there. But I remember Ajahn teaching, once you wake up, just Buddha and stay, give mindfulness. So like when I come back, I don't practice more, like somehow I don't practice more, but I remember this teaching that, okay, now I'm in a comfortable environment. When I wake up, once I wake up, I have to start my sati, my meditation, my mindfulness.
That's because you're still attached to your comfort. So when you're living in a discomfort place, you don't have the mind or the energy to do the practice. Because you're worried about the discomfort around more. So it disturbs you. So in order to practice, you have to teach or adapt yourself to the discomfort. Because usually places of discomfort are more conducive for your meditation than places of comfort. Because places of comfort can make you lazy, make you complacent, not alert. But if you live in a discomfort place, then this discomfort will constantly stirring your mindfulness. You have to be mindful in order to be able to live with the discomfort. That's why we go to discomfort places to use it as the means of pushing our mindfulness practice. Okay.
I'm very afraid to go again because when I came back, it was getting better. Then I booked another ticket. I want to go back to Thailand and practice. But I was so afraid. Maybe it was like what Ajahn just said, is the attachment and the restlessness. I actually missed the flight because I was so afraid to go back to the environment. So what should I do the next time, Ajahn?
Well, you should practice at home first by reducing the amount of comfort in your home. Instead of turning the air conditioner on, maybe leave it off. Instead of sleeping on the bed, sleeping on the floor. Instead of eating 3 meals a day, eat only once a day. You can practice this at home first. Get yourself more used to the discomfort. So that when you go to a monastery, then you'll find it's like home. Then you home the monastery first before you go to the monastery. Then you don't need to adapt, adjust. But if you live at home, then you go to the monastery, there's a big difference. So there's a big gap for you to adjust, which makes it, hard to do. And disrupt your concentration, disrupt your mindfulness practice. So, make your home a monastery first.
I'm very afraid of the gecko, Ajahn.
Well, don't use light in your home, use candle or something, use flashlight when you're home so that you're used to the dark.
I mean the gecko.
Yeah, they only come in the dark. So when you're dark, you might start thinking, oh, there might be a gecko in your room or something. But you should use reason. You're bigger than the gecko. It cannot hurt you. You can hurt it. So why is your sense of of reason? What can it do to you?
Like a mouse can enter the elephant's ear, Ajahn.
Mm-hmm. But you don't have an ear as big as the elephant. Anyway, you should contemplate and use wisdom. Compare yourself to the gecko and see who is bigger, who is stronger. You are the gecko.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Diana from Wales, I think. Yes, go ahead.
Hello, Tanajan. Nice to see you.
Good to see you again.
I do have one question. We talked last time about prayer, and you said there's no prayer, there's only do. But I like to finish the day with a gratitude practice and then a loving kindness practice. So thinking about people that I want to send loving kindness to. What is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong. You want to do it, but loving kindness should be done when you're with the person, not when you're away from the person. See? But just by reminding yourself to do this is okay. But when you actually meet the person, you have to really show loving kindness toward that person. Even if that person makes you angry, you must forgive that person.
That's the hard bit, isn't it?
That's right. That's why you prefer the easy part.
Yeah.
To give loving kindness when you're alone. That's easy. But to give loving kindness when you're with someone, that's difficult. But that's what you want. That's what the Buddha wants us to do. To give kindness and loving to everybody that you meet, that you engage with, that you encounter. Every being, human and even animals, and spiritual beings as well, if they should come and visit you. You should not chase them away. You should invite them in, talk to them.
Yes. Because animals understand us even though they don't speak, or they speak their own way.
They can see the gesture. They can read from your gesture, from your action. So they can tell whether you are friendly or not friendly to them.
Yes. What about prayer wheels and mantras?
These are all means of concentrating your mind, really. That's what it's supposed to do. Or mindfulness. So that you have something to do, so you stop worrying about money or work or anything like that. It's like a good distraction from bad things that you might be involved with.
Thank you, Tanajan.
There are many ways of developing mindfulness in Buddhism. Chanting, praying, this is also a form of mindfulness practice. Counting the beats, this is also another form. To get your mind away from all your problems or troubles, and concentrate on counting the beats instead.
Yes. Yes, I do that one too.
And it can calm your mind. Calm your mind. All right.
And then
Okay.
we're more loving to other people then.
Yeah, when you become calm, you can be more kind and friendly toward other people. When you're not happy, you cannot be friendly or kind. But when you're happy, when you're calm, then you can be kind and friendly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Christine Coe from where? Malaysia.
Yes, Ajahn. Good evening. Malaysia, yes, Penang.
Any questions?
Can you hear me? Yeah. Yes, a simple question. Because these few days I have body discomfort. So when I think back, I just try to get rid of the suffering. Then I try to watch on the suffering, on the pain, but it's hardly to get rid of it. Then I try to view it and then look at it. Then on and off. Then as I was so tired, then I sleep away. Then I was thinking, meditation can overcome the painfulness also, right, Ajahn?
Yes. Just keep reciting Bhutto, 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 and don't think about the painfulness of the body. Then the mind will not be affected by the painfulness of the body. Since it's the dukkha in the mind that's more the problem than the pain of the body. So you have to stop your dukkha by reciting the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto. Because your mind wants to run away from the suffering, from the pain, or want to get rid of the pain.
Yes.
And this creates dukkha in your mind. You want to stop the dukkha in your mind. You can stop the dukkha in your mind, but you cannot stop the pain in the mind. It might take time. You go to a doctor or whatever, but the dukkha in your mind you can get rid of right away, and you can stop your desire for the painful pain of the body to disappear. So you have to accept the pain of the body. But it doesn't mean you cannot go to a doctor and fix it. You can. But when it's still there, you just have to learn to live with it. Then you will not create any dukkha or pain in your mind.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Is that all?
Yes, that's all.
Okay, another person from Penang also. You know her? Kek Yenso? Okay, you know her? Christine Coe? They live in the same town.
Hi, Ajahn. Yeah. Good evening. No question today. Okay. Hi, Christine. Okay.
Okay. Just to let you know, you were from the same town. Now in the same room.
Yeah.
Okay, Somchai, where are you, Somchai? From Erie, Pennsylvania. Lake Erie.
Captain Pajan, yes, a good evening. And first, I follow you Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes I miss that, but it's always enjoy, and I learned a lot. Last week, I went to the temple, Niagara Falls at the Buffalo, New York. Then it's kind of what we call the celebration on Kalpansa of ceremony. So
Yes.
then so it's I got some, but just I mean it's not like I can talk to quite a bit, but far away I just like almost 200 miles. I mean 200 kilos, so like a miles, and before I can go and back as well. So anyways, then pretty good. Enjoy, and I go to temple at Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania too. So and after that, I kind of expand what you're teaching. So then,
Okay.
and something I have experience to share about that, because when I went to, I lost my debit card, and until morning later, I thought I gonna be everything get so mad, but I kind of calm. I give them a call, so they said yes, we are protecting for you. So this is something I have experienced, and so far it's a kind of pretty good when I follow the 5 and to 8. It's about 8. It's not quite. so 8% is not quite. It's a 5. So all right. It's 5. So like don't kill, don't stealing, don't go to another bad for the female or someone. Also not drink so far. And number 6, I think I forgot 7 too. So what's the number 6 and number 7?
Number 6 is not to have food after midday. Abstain from food after midday.
Okay. 7.
7 is not to watch any entertainment.
Oh, that's okay.
8 is to sleep on a hard floor, not on a bed.
Like I mentioned about that. So and so far, then I try to follow it, and something kind of difficult to do. One is the one from the midday.
Yeah.
But sometimes I miss that. So that's I just tell you. So that's I'm not quite very important, but I'm gonna try harder next time. So
yeah, it's something that you should strive for. I mean, you can do it, but you just have to, to push yourself. If you don't push yourself, then you will not you will not be able to do what you should be doing, which is good for you. Eat less is good for you. Eat more is bad for you. You become overweight, and you get all sorts of disease.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so far, but now, you are amazing. Like I can't imagine about this. How to describe about this. So, but again, so thank you and sadhu.
Don't be discouraged. Everything takes time. So when you're starting now, so you just have to be patient and keep trying to do whatever you can do, and then slowly move forward. You don't look at the champion, when you're just starting learning how to box. You just have to work your way up the ladder. Okay.
Yeah, something else I studied, like the physics, the physics side from the side, but this is on my. I just started beginning to study in mine, but the other than that, I couldn't understand. But this is so deep, and difficult to do and control.
Okay, you're welcome. I'll go to Monica. from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Today I have no question.
Okay. Belinda from Singapore.
Hello, Ajahn. No questions.
Okay.
Ajahn, just want to ask you. You say you do painting and all, and does it help in helping to meditate as well as focusing on painting?
It depends how you paint. You can be painting and not mindful. You can be painting and thinking about some other thing at the same time. But if you just concentrate only on painting, then this will help your meditation. Focus only on what you paint and not thinking about other things. But if you paint and then you think about other things as well, then this is not mindfulness. So you want to stop thinking. That's the whole purpose of practice, is to control your thoughts. Okay. Next, Ragmal, if I pronounce your name correctly.
Lupa, yes, Rukmal.
Rukmal.
Yes.
Okay, where are you from, India?
No, I'm from Sri Lanka. Remember, I was at the monastery few times.
I see. You live in New Jersey? You live in New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you back in New Jersey or are you in Sri Lanka?
No, I'm still in Thailand.
In Thailand.
Yes. Yeah. I was thinking last few days. I have a quick question. I was thinking at this point of my life, like whether I should concentrate on dana or more sila and bhavana side. I felt like I mean, giving is good, but like going forward, maybe I should concentrate more on the meditation and the sila. I just want to ask you about it, some advice.
It depends on what you can do. See. If you can practice more, keep the precept more, then you can just concentrate on these two practices more than dana. Dana, you can do it all at one time when the time comes. When you decide to become a monk, then you give up everything.
Yeah. The giving up everything meaning like giving away everything as a dana, or I mean gradually getting rid of.
When you become a monk, you're not supposed to possess anything anymore.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm not yet ready for that, of course, but eventually that's my goal.
So you have to make sure that your dana practices doesn't interfere with your meditation practice.
Yes, Lumpa. Yes. Yeah.
It should be supporting your meditation practice.
Yeah, I mean, through dana, I think I kind of developed the compassion or karuna, so it kind of helped through my meditation as well.
It does. It helps to calm your mind.
Yes. Yeah. So I think going forward, I should concentrate more on the meditation than doing like community services, community work.
That's right. If you want to do dana, do it in such a way that it doesn't take too much time. Like writing a check,
Yes.
$1 million, and that's it. And then you can spend all your time meditating.
Yes. So the giving dana wouldn't, I mean, take you anywhere. I think through the meditation, you can enter the stream and then go step by step.
Some people, are distracted by their dana practice, away from what their main practice should be, meditation.
Yes.
So they spend more time on, like you say, community service, for instance. in which this will take time. See? And time is what you don't have. If you practice meditation, you need to have the time. If you spend time on services, then you won't have the time to meditate. So it's better to hire someone to do the services for you if you can afford it. Give the money to the community and let them manage their own services, and then you can then go meditate.
Yeah, like the only thing I learned, to be patient when I work with a lot of outsiders, so it kind of helped developing the meditation practice.
And the community, the services can also disrupt or interfere with your meditation practice. Because you do community services, you have to think a lot. When you meditate, you won't stop thinking. When you go into different direction.
Yes. Yes, Lungpa, I understand. Okay. Hopefully, I'll be coming back to the monastery soon for another few weeks.
Okay. See you then. Okay.
Yes.
Next, Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any questions. Glad to be listening in tonight.
Okay. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm just listening and learning. No questions for me.
Sri and Jack from Vancouver.
Hello, Ajahn.
Anything? Any comment or any question?
Ajahn, just quick questions. When you become a monk, do you need to learn how to chant?
Well, in Thailand, there's some basic chanting that you should know, because you have to do the Anumodana chant, things like that. Or when you ordain, you have to do the ordination chant. And then as a new monk, usually you are mandated to attend the morning and evening chanting. So this is something that you would have to do, unless you go to a monastery where they don't have any chanting. Like Amat Pavanta, we don't have morning or evening chanting. We don't have morning or evening gathering to chant. Dhamma Mahabua stress on the practice of seclusion and meditation. So you don't need to do any chanting at all. It depends on the temple or the monastery you ordain and stay in. Most monasteries usually require that you attend the morning and evening chanting. And as a monk, sometimes you get an invitation to go bless people's houses. So you have to know the blessing chant for the invitation. Unless you can avoid or you can excuse yourself not to go to this invitation. But sometimes you cannot if you live in a monastery where they do this thing. So you have to choose the type of monastery before you decide to ordain. A lot of Thai monasteries stress on chanting and studying the scriptures. Very few only the Thai forest tradition that don't stress this thing. They only stress the practice of sila, samadhi, and panya, and the Dudangka practice. Eating in the bowl, eating once a day, Vinabhata. Very few temples or monasteries in the Thai forest tradition. So you have to search. Or else you'll run into the ordinary Thai monastery, where they insist you gather in the morning and evening and do morning and evening chanting. And sometimes they have ceremony in which you have to do some more chant. And if you're invited to people's house, you have to chant for the people that invite you before they give you food.
Okay.
So you have to know what you want to do, and then look for the particular monastery that will suit your purpose. Like me, when I first started, before I ordained, I was fortunate to run into a small booklet called A Guide to Meditation Monastery in Thailand.
Oh.
It was collected by one of the American monks. He ordained back in England. He just wrote down living back in the States. But he gathered this information. He went to maybe 40 or 50 monasteries throughout Thailand. And then he did indicate each individual monastery, what type of food, good or bad, what kind of teachers, and what kind of accommodation. Things like. You can still search for the book if you like in the internet. Guide to Thailand Monastery or some meditation monastery. Then it'll tell you all the info that you need to know. Just in case if you want. Huh?
Is it Jack Cornfield?
Yes, Jack Cornfield. I think he wrote that book.
It's very well known.
Yeah. Oh.
I think he lives in Massachusetts now. He ran a meditation center or something.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate to sort of get into the circle of this information. I first started with the Buddhist Publication Society in Sri Lanka, where they publish a lot of meditation suttas. And then I also start to get books, eventually get this book, Guide to the Thai Monastery, Meditation Monastery, before I decided to ordain. So I know that if I want to practice, I have to go to the Thai Forest Monastery up in the northeastern part of Thailand. So I must first find a place to ordain and be allowed to go to this monastery. And I was told that the Supreme Patriarch who passed away, the one before, who built this monastery, Wat Yannasangwararam. He was living in a Bangkok monastery, but he was very kind to ordain people, especially Westerners, and to allow them to go and practice with the various Ajahn in the Northeast. Ajahn Cha, Ajahn Mahabur, so many Ajahn.
Oh.
So I went to this monastery, to this temple, and asked for ordination, and told him that I didn't want to stay in his temple. I just want to get ordained. I want to go practice meditation. And he said, "Okay." It's very gracious, very, very nice. Because he himself was interested in meditation practice. He also visited this forest monastery from time to time. He knew Ajahn Mahabur. They were contemporaries. So he was all right. I was lucky. Everything seems to be green light for me every step of the way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I was thinking, for a monk who need to practice Pali, to do chanting, then they spend a lot of time.
Yes. Even now, this monastery we have the abbot. He requires that you study Thai also, because he cannot communicate with you in English.
Then you have to go and
You kind of waste a lot of time learning chanting and learning how to speak Thai, communicable Thai. So he's actually erecting obstacles to the path that's supporting the path. But he doesn't realize that. He thought you have to study the scripture, you have to know the chanting. How can you not if you're a monk, Because he never practiced himself, he only studied and chant
Oh.
I thought that's what everybody should be doing.
Mm.
So it's very difficult for people to come here and ordain and practice, unfortunately.
Oh.
This only happened recently with the new abbot. Before that, it was the Supreme Patriarch who was the abbot. So he supported the meditation practice.
Mm.
Anyway, I hope I'm not criticizing anybody, just telling the truth.
Mm.
So just to let people who are listening now, if they want to come and ordain here, they better look for some other place.
Okay.
Like Siddhartha and Alex Aroka, they were lucky. They have a group ordination. It's a Buddhist society in the university who sponsored this group, and they support the practice of the Thai forest meditations.
Oh,
okay. So they support free ordination for everybody who wants to ordain. For 3 months at least, for a minimum of 3 months or longer. And they stay with one of the Ajahn Mahaburu's disciples, teacher.
Oh. Okay, then they practice meditation.
Yeah, they do Dhamma practice, not much chanting, not much studying. Just some of the basic things that you need to know, like the 227 precepts. This is something you need to know as a monk. But almost you almost don't need to know all of them because most of them are already outdated. All you need to know just maybe 20 or so precepts that you should know. But the rest of them is more like etiquette, how monks should behave, how monks should eat, how monks should walk, and all these sort of things. They are more etiquette than they are precepts. So now Alex and Siddhartha have been ordained, just to let you know.
Yeah.
So good.
We are happy for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really congratulate them.
And then it should be easy for them to also have their visa.
Oh.
Because that's another thing you have to worry about, getting visa. 1 year visa.
Only 1 year.
Yeah, they only allow you to have 1 year, but you can extend after the 1 year. But you have to have papers signed by the abbot of your monastery.
Oh, okay.
To certify that you're still a good monk.
Oh, so if you are a good monk, you're foreigners, you can extend your visa.
If you have the abbot to do it for you.
Yeah.
So you have to look for a monastery who will ordain you and sponsor your visa.
Oh. Okay.
So these two, they're lucky. They got the free ordination, and they also get a teacher, a monk, abbot who will then sponsor their visa also.
Oh.
What do you mean by free ordination, Ajahn?
Normally you have to buy the 8 requisites like bow and ropes.
Oh.
They are cost.
Oh.
In Thai, it's a tradition for Thais to buy all these things, not to expect the monastery to provide for you. Because you don't want to put a burden on the monastery, on the temple. You want to make merit. You don't want to rob the monastery, the temple. Foreigners they thought that the monastery the temple is supposed to provide all these things for them. They don't have to do anything. Most foreigners don't do any dana. They haven't taught how to do dana. They thought everything is free in the temple. But it's the other way around. all Thais who go to the monastery or temple know they have to donate to support the monastery.
Ah, okay.
But foreigners, they thought everything is free for them, so they don't do any dana at all. That's one of the problem that causes a lot of what we call unwelcoming attitude from the Thai monks to the foreigners.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
Because most foreigners don't do any dana. And they expect that somehow somebody will sponsor their ordination when they ordain.
Oh, okay.
So who sponsored Siddhartha and?
Well, this organization is a Buddhist club in the university.
Oh, okay.
By fundraising from other Buddhists. There are lots of Buddhists who like to support people who ordain also in Thailand. So if they know that someone wants to ordain and don't have the money to pay for the ordination, then they will be the sponsor. I think this is making good merit, making lots of merits. Today we might be a little bit out of meditation practices. I hope you don't mind. If anybody complain or say, let me know so we can stop this conversation. But maybe this is something you don't know. Maybe it's something.
Yeah, it's really something we don't know.
Yeah. It's good to know. Yeah.
And maybe this is something people are afraid to talk about. But I'm not afraid.
I think it's.
If you're telling the truth, why should you be afraid, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes, this thing about political correctness.
Yes.
This is probably one of them. You're not supposed to say something like this.
Yeah, but I think it's good to know. I think this is I don't know, for me, I think it's good to know.
The truth is important.
Yeah.
But Ajahn, usually I used to listen to many different talks, and like the monks would tell us about stories of their like, for example, like they are not used to the food in Thailand, or like some stories are very scary, but I never hear anything like that from you. Like you're always like so. After knowing you, I feel a lot less afraid of like being a nun or things like. I used to be afraid by those stories. It was like, it's so scary, like the way they describe it. But you never do that. Like you always, for me, your story, I can tell that you really focus on the defilement, like fighting with the defilement instead of focusing on the outside factors. And maybe just one or two, like about the snakes and things like that, but like not like, I guess you don't scare. I don't feel scared after I talk to you or getting to know your path of practice. Yeah, it's hard for me to describe, but I guess you come make me feel like not afraid of the path.
Yeah. The delusion or ignorance is the cause of fear. Once you know the truth, then there's nothing to fear.
Yeah.
Once you know that the body is not you, then there's no need to fear of anything at all, right? But you still think the body is you, so that's caused you all the fear. But as soon as you know that the body is not you, then all the fear will disappear.
I think it's about like speaking the truth, because like it's either like too scary, or it's either paint a really good picture or too scary. But for me, when I listen to you, it's really the middle. It's like it's the truth. You don't scare us, but at the same time, you're not saying like, oh, it's easy, like it's like, oh, it's so it's not easy, but it's also it's
Not
just
impossible. Not impossible.
yeah, it's like it's really you're telling the truth. It's really the middle. Like it's not like
The
too
middle way.
scary.
The middle way.
Yeah,
The middle way is the truth. The way of truth.
yeah. I don't know how to express it, but I feel it like from your teaching. Like it's the middle way. Is it's not scary, but don't feel discouraged. But at the same time, don't think that it's easy, and you have to work hard as well. Like it's you give me that impression.
Yes. Okay. Anything else?
Ajahn, like the in your teaching, like both like samadhi, samatha, and vipassana are both meditation, but they are very different. What is their similarity? Like they're like they are both meditation, but yet so different from the way you they're two different steps, right?
Yes.
But but why are they both meditation? They're both called meditation.
Well, meditation is the word we translate from the word bhavana. Bhavana actually means mental development, but it's translated generally as meditation in English. So you should change the word meditation into mental development.
Oh, okay.
The practice of mental development is bhavana. And it involves two steps. The first one is to calm the mind. The next step is to teach the mind the truth. This is called vipassana. Then the mind can become Ariya mind. Right now the mind is ordinary mind. So you want to change it to a super mind by using bhavana, using samatha and vipassana bhavana. To transform the ordinary mind to become a super mind. Superman.
Superman. I see.
Super mind.
So, Ajahn, is mental development meanings like once it's developed calm, the other one is developed wisdom.
Wisdom, that's right.
Okay.
See, a calm mind is more developed than a restless mind.
Yeah.
And then a smart mind is more developed than an ignorant mind. Stupid mind.
Okay.
When you have both, you become super mind.
That's right. Become Sotapanna. Become Anagami, becomes Arahant or Buddha. Get it now? So the word meditation can be misleading.
Should be bhavana.
Mental development, practice of mental development.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
I think other people will also benefit from your question. That's why I let you keep asking. Because sometimes people don't ask any question, but you tend to ask a lot more. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Next, I think it's Evie now, right? Evie, you from Indonesia. Still the same Evie, right? Or super Evie now.
Yeah, Ajahn, Namo Buddhaya. Ajahn, I don't care about Ajahn tell about ordination. I wish I can be ordained one day, but not now. Maybe one day.
One day is a long way away.
When my parents die, when my mother-in-law, father-in-law die.
When everybody die.
Yeah, husband die, and my child grows up, become adult, and I can be be a monk. Be
By
a
the time
nun.
you become too old to become a monk or a nun.
And when I get old, is the monastery
No,
still
you have to
want
be
to
able to.
accept?
You have to be able to support yourself. You cannot expect others to support you, to help you. Everything is self-service in the monastic life. Self-service. Wash your own clothes. Eat your own food. Clean your own place. Everything you have to do everything by yourself. No servant.
No lah, Ajahn. I practice now. I do this home like sweep the floor and doing homework lah. Yeah, practice. But when I getting old, the monastery want to accept people who is getting old to be a nun or not, Ajahn. Maybe no.
Well, it depends. You have to go look for a monastery that will, So, and it varies from monastery. You have to maybe be able to convince the abbot that you're worth ordaining.
Must really know the abbot, so the abbot want to accept us.
Not just know, but know also your ability.
Know my
Your ability to become a nun.
So what can I show to the abbot that I am have the ability, Ajahn?
Then you can practice meditation. Then you can practice the Dhamma practices, like eating once a day, and staying out in the wild, not afraid of anything.
Under the monastery department, follow all the rules.
All the monastic rules.
Okay. I think I still have that chance.
So before you can ordain in forest monastery, they usually require you to live there first as a preceptor to see whether you can follow all the rules or not.
Ajahn, my question is, what is Adisila? Adisila, the higher morality.
Adisila, that's the sila of the Arya, of the noble disciple. The Sotapanna and up to the Arahant, they have the Adisila. That means they are unbreakable sila.
Actually, this is the question of the bhikkhuni who I know. She left this question to me through me to Ajahn, that to attain the Arahant must follow the rule of all Adisila or not necessary, Ajahn.
It's not follow. They have the Adisila in their mind. They don't break any precepts. They don't do any bad karma.
No have to read the book.
No need, because the sila comes from the mind. The Buddha was the one who prescribed the sila.
So the mind automatically can follow all the Adisila without reading the book. That must be a miracle, Ajahn. People who
because the mind doesn't want to do anything bad. And enlightened mind don't do anything bad. Don't do any bad karma. It's only unenlightened mind that will do bad karma. And then they have to set up the precept to stop the unenlightened mind from doing bad karma.
Even the mind can maybe just a little flash that bad karma arise and automatically it shut down like that, or no arise at all the bad talk. The enlightenment mind is doesn't has a little bit bad talk or just a little, but
no bad
realize,
karma, no bad thought in an enlightened mind.
No bad thought anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Very
That's why
high.
they are enlightened. They know what's good, or what is good and what is bad. See? That's what you mean by enlightened.
Yeah.
If you're not unenlightened, if you're unenlightened, then you don't know what's good, what is bad. You usually look at what is good as bad and what is bad as good. See? Like people drinking, they think this is good. Yeah. Gambling, they think this is good.
So what should I answer to this Bhikkhuni Ajahn about this question?
I just told you.
Oh, the Adisila is from the heart, not in the book.
It's from the heart of the enlightened.
The enlightened mind.
Yes.
Now the Bhikkhuni is in Thailand to do, I don't know what the mention, but that is like some like ordained to be a Bhikkhuni, the real Bhikkhuni. So he leave this question to me, to asking Ajahn.
Okay. You got the answer, all right?
Yeah, Ajahn. And I have one question again, Ajahn. Can I ask you?
Okay.
I have nimitta again, Ajahn.
Again, don't worry about them. Don't pay attention to them. They're all maya. You know maya? They're illusion. They're not real. They're useless. Don't pay attention to them.
But I want to tell this nimitta to Ajahn and asking also.
I don't want to listen. It's a waste of time.
Okay. The point is, this nimitta show me that the busy and sadness and loneliness in meditation is called dukkha. But in real life, I feel that is not dukkha, this is natural. Is this the ignorance?
If you don't see dukkha in everything, then this is ignorance.
I see the dukkha in that nimitta. Oh, this is dukkha. But in real life, I walking, I busy. I don't feel this is dukkha. I just, yeah, this is natural.
Because you don't have wisdom, so you don't see it as dukkha.
No wisdom, so we see this as dukkha.
So you see it as natural. So if you have wisdom, you see it as dukkha, not natural.
Yeah, but in meditation, I see this as dukkha. Is this wisdom, Ajahn?
I don't know. You have to come out, and if it's wisdom, then it has to be wisdom all the time, not just sometimes wisdom and sometimes ignorance. Then in real life, you have to see it as wisdom also. It's useless to see things in meditation, and then when you're in real life, you don't see it anymore.
Yeah, I see in meditation, this is dukkha, but in normal life, I don't see dukkha anymore.
So you have to transfer it from your meditation to real life.
This is me, the nimitta teach me to know what is dukkha.
That's right, and you don't use it. That's the problem. You're stubborn, so you still stick to your own knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, Johanna from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you. Okay.
Yeah, good. I don't have any question today. Thank you so much for teaching, Ajahn.
Okay. I think we'll go to Facebook now because everybody has a chance to ask questions. Do we have any questions from Facebook?
Yes, we have tonight about 12 questions. The first question is from Tucci. Hello, Sayadaw. May I ask a question? Why are only 3 taints mentioned in the Saphawa Sutta? Sapasava Sutta.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe just that's all the time they have to mention, I guess. I don't know. Don't worry about how many. You know, just take what they give, and that's better that way.
The second question is from Lisa Tan. Namaskar Ajahn, can we drink plain coconut water after midday when we have Atasila?
No, because you cannot drink the juice of fruit that is bigger than your fist, the size of your fist. So coconut is bigger than the size of your fist. So you cannot drink the juice of the coconut.
And the other question from Lisan is, after Bindabata, other foods in the bowl mixed together?
It's up to you, individual monk. Sometimes you put all the food in the bowl, but you might not mix them if you like it. There's no rule that forces you to mix all the food in the bowl. But for some people, they find it necessary in order to tame their defilement.
The next question is from the Morning Star. Could you please explain more about your answer that dana practice should be supportive to meditation practice? Please explain in detail, especially for lays who practice in solitude in his own place by himself. Thank you very much.
Well, if you give away all your money, then you won't have any problem, any worry about your money anymore. Then your mind can concentrate on your meditation practice fully. But if you still have money, then you still worry about how to take care, how to manage the money. So this can disturb your meditation practice. But when you have no money, then you won't have anything to disturb when you meditate.
The next question is from Pauline Soon. Can the achievement of Nibbana be told?
Be told? What
be told. Can you tell him about it? Can it be explained?
Yes, Nibbana means there's no defilement, pure mind. The mind is pure from defilement. It's called Nibbana.
The next question is also from Pauline Soon. Can Tanajan talk about spiritual practice?
We are talking about spiritual practice when we talk about meditation. This is all spiritual. It's not physical. Mindfulness, samadhi, wisdom, this is all spiritual practices.
The next question is from Lee San Tan. Can monks select the foods that he only wants to eat at Wat Yan? Thank you.
If it's given to you, then you can choose the food that's given to you. But you cannot just go around and ask people, I want this type of food and I don't want that type of food. You cannot do that. But if people give you many different types of food, then you can select whatever type of food you want to eat.
The next question is from Chi Chi Tang. The question came in Thai, and so we're going to translate it. And she would like you to explain about your teaching, which was on Sunday, the last year of your life, in English, because her husband is a Vietnamese and he couldn't speak Thai, so he couldn't understand that lesson. And he has a very serious liver disease, a final stage. So he would like to hear that in English.
Well, if you know you're gonna die, then you must teach your mind that the body is not you, and that the body is subjected to death, subjected to sickness. Everybody is the same. Once you are born, your body will be subjected to aging, sickness, and death. Nobody can stop it. And another thing you have to know about the body is that you are not the body. You are the mind who uses the body. You're the user of the body. Like you're the user of a telephone. You and the telephone are two separate things. So when something happens to the telephone, it doesn't happen to the user. So you have to know this and separate your mind from your body by meditation. You have to meditate, concentrate, watching your breath, sitting and watching your breath to separate your mind from your body. When your mind stops thinking, then your mind and the body will be separated. Then you can see that the two are different. And then you can then change your attitude toward the body. Instead of thinking it is you, then you say it's not me. So once it's done, you have no worry about the body, whether it's gonna die or not. Okay.
The last three questions are from Pauline Soon. The first one is it the mind that has been coming from the past? Can Thanajan explain, please?
No, the mind is the mind, and it travels through time. You know, the mind exists for a long period of time. It's the same mind. The old mind or the new mind is the same mind. What changes is the body. You keep changing the new body, but the mind is still the old mind. When this body dies, you get a new body. So you become somebody else. If you're born in America, then you'll be an American. If you're born in Japan, you'll become a Japanese. But you're still the same mind. The mind that hates and likes. The mind that still have greed, hate, and delusion. The same mind.
The next question is, how do we dissolve the personal I, mine, and me that is planted in our mind?
You have to meditate to stop your mind from thinking. When your mind stops thinking, then the thought of me, of I, me, and myself will disappear temporarily. So you know that your true self is just a knower. Once you know this, when you come out of meditation, then you can remind yourself that I am not the body. The body is not me. I'm just the mind, the one who knows. And even the mind itself is not me either. The mind is just the knower, the thinker.
And the last question from Pauline Soon is, I used to watch the defiled mind every day that arises every day. Is this the right practice?
If you watch and you have to stop it when it comes up. If you just watch it and allow it to go about doing things, then this is not right. When you have greed, you have to stop greed. When you have anger, you have to stop anger. Not allow it to go into action.
Thanajan, we have one question that just came in from the Morning Star. I do not quite understand how to meditate in the way of the forest meditation practice. I've been practicing in a different way. According to Ajahn Saitip's practice last Wednesday, when she experienced pain, she was aware of the painful sensation instead of chanting Putto, and pain was disappeared. Is this way of practice not cause an obstruction to the progress of meditation, i.e., to attain the fourth jhana?
Some people already have fourth jhana, so they don't need to go to fourth jhana. Once they have equanimity, then they can just observe the pain and not reacting to the pain. But if you observe the pain and you react with hate or dislike, then you get dukkha, and then you will not be able to withstand the pain. But if you can observe or watch the pain without any emotion, like or dislike, then you will have no dukkha.
That is all for now.
Okay. Anybody in the room would like to ask more questions? You are welcome. Just raise your hand.
We have a newcomer, Bhuttika.
Bhuttika, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Bhuttika, where are you from?
I'm from Sri Lanka.
Okay. Can I help you?
Yes, during my meditation practice, I go into short samadhi.
Go ahead.
Then outside voices getting reduced, frequency getting reduced and increases during going into samadhi and come out of the samadhi.
So what is your question?
Is it anicca? What it is?
Going into samadhi and coming out of samadhi?
Yeah.
Well, you cannot stay in samadhi all the time.
Yes.
So after a while, you have to come out of samadhi. Then if you want, then you have to go back inside again. You run out of mindfulness. Your mindfulness will let you stay in samadhi briefly, temporarily. And when your mindfulness weakens, then your defilement will push the mind out of samadhi. Then you have to develop more mindfulness to bring the mind back into samadhi again.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So keep developing more mindfulness. When you come out, when you come out of samadhi, you have to maintain mindfulness. Develop more mindfulness. Stay mindful. Stop thinking, and then when you meditate, you can then go back into samadhi again.
Is it anicca?
Is it what?
Anicca.
Anicca.
Impermanence. Yes, anicca.
Yes, samadhi can be considered anicca. It's temporary.
How to go into equanimity from that stage?
How to what?
Go into equanimity
Go into equanimity by
from
having
that stage.
by having mindfulness. When you go into samadhi, you get equanimity.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Raise your hand. Evie again. Okay, Evie.
Alice asking question, Ajahn, in this room. Ajahn, does someone who has died immediately get a new body? Is being born as a ghost or deva is called a new body, even though the physical body is not visible?
Well, it depends on your definition of a body. If you say physical body, then you have to either have a human or animal body. If no physical body, then it's spiritual body, because spiritual being, then you can become a ghost or a deva, depending on your good or bad karma.
So the deva and ghost is mentioned the body too, yeah. Ajahn.
It depends on your definition of the word body, I think. So you just have to be clear on what you're talking about. That's all.
Because in my imagination that someone who died, he doesn't get the new body in the short time, maybe waiting for 100 years or so many years to get the new body to be a animal or human. That is not right, Ajahn?
It's not true with everybody. Yeah, somebody can get a new body very quickly. That's why we have some young children who can remember their past life, because they just recently been dead and they're reborn and happen to be reborn near where they used to live also. So they can identify their old houses and things like that. But this is exceptional case, I think. But generally, everybody will takes time to get a new body. At least it takes 9 months to be born. You have to be in the womb for 9 months before you can. And it takes years before you can grow up and know who you are, what you are. So it takes a while. By that time, you forget your past lives already.
Yeah, I think all people is forget their past life. So maybe so little chance to remember the past life.
It's useless to remember past life. It doesn't matter. What matters is now, what you do with your life now. Okay. Don't worry about your past life. Don't worry about your future life. Worry about now. How you're gonna get rid of the dukkha. That's all you have to worry about.
So doesn't immediately get a new body. No. All people get immediately.
I think I don't want to waste time with this question anymore. Okay, it's wasting time. Like I said, just concentrate on how to get rid of your dukkha. That's all you have to do.
And one question again, Ajahn often says sacrifice your money for fun activity. How about worrying about the need of people I care for, like mother, sister, child.
You should not worry too much. You do what you can, because no matter how well you do, they're gonna end up dead anyway. Okay, things like this, so you won't have to worry too much.
If I am too generous in giving funds, of course it will not be enough for their needs. So this like don't care, don't care of them. So please give advice for this condition, because many people often refuse to donate for this reason.
Maybe the reason is because they don't want to donate. That's the real reason. So they're trying to find an excuse not to donate. That's all.
Yeah, small money is including
If
donate.
you want to donate, nothing can stop you from donating. But if you don't want to donate, then that's always excuses, reason for not donating. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's the real reason you don't want to donate. So you're trying to find reason to justify you're not donating.
Because sometimes I asking donation, I feel maybe they don't want, so I don't.
You should think donation as giving your mind wealth. Every time you donate, you're getting spiritual wealth. You don't lose anything when you donate money. You just exchange, like you exchange your dollar for Thai baht, for instance.
Yeah.
You know you're gonna have to exist as a spiritual being one day, and your donation will help you when you become a spiritual being, because then you can use the spiritual money. Your dana will become spiritual money.
Is that true? That is money in spiritual money?
Yes, that's why you become a deva, not a hungry ghost, because of your dana. Every time you give, you feel full, you have contentment. Every time you breathe, you feel hungry. The more you want, the more you get, the more you want.
How about the people who have do dana just for people looking, but in the heart that is so hurt because he or she give too much, but he want to show to people.
That's not dana. That's show off.
So that is no.
That's not dana.
That is
real
not
dana. You don't have to let people know that you give, that you donate.
Yeah. That is useless, Ajahn. Useless activity.
Yeah. It's acting. It's not real.
Acting. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
Somebody else? Raise your hand. Do we have any newcomer into the room?
Monica.
Sulan, is she here yet? Not yet. Sulan.
Monica, you can talk now.
Monica, okay.
Yeah, Ajahn. Yeah, I realized that when I deal with my feelings in the mind, I find that the mind can come down very fast. But then when sometimes the restlessness is still there, the emotions of the mind, and I find the mindfulness is not there. Do we actually need the fourth jhana in order to study the emotions of the mind?
Well, it would be more obvious because when you have the fourth jhana, you have an empty mind. So when anything comes up, you can see it right away.
Okay.
But when you don't have the fourth jhana, everything is still in motion. So you cannot distinguish which one is good or bad emotion.
So if we can detect the emotions of the mind, should we just go back to mantra again? Is it to pull back from before the thoughts keep on coming in? Is it?
If you can what?
No, see because sometimes I realize that when the pain comes from the body, I can still sort of like take it. Then when the feelings come, it's still okay. But then sometimes I realize how come when I start trying to sort of like trying to look at the feelings, but the mind is still very restless. And then I realized actually it is more than that. probably is the emotions in the mind. And I feel like there is aversion towards the dukkha of the pain, the body pain. This is during, not during meditation, it's out of the meditation. So is there any way that I can deal with this when these type of things come up?
Just recite Buddha mantra.
Just a mantra. Okay. Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Go.
Yeah, Ajahn, I have a question to ask, actually, sometimes when I try not to ask questions because I feel that all the advice that given by Ajahn I've not been following. For example, you have always advised not to watch YouTube videos because this is considered as essential pressure. But time to time, I'm not able to shake off this habit, and then I still went to watch the YouTube video. So, and this happened on and off. Then after that, I tell myself, okay, I have to restrain myself. Then after that, able to do it. Then after a while, I still find that the pull of the is too enticing. So it becomes like a vicious cycle. Yeah. So sometimes when I think, hey, how come I still not able to shake off this habit? And so sometimes I tell myself, okay, then the next Dhamma session I will not ask any question because I've not been able to follow the earlier instructions given by Ajahn. Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
So sometimes I was thinking, am I not resolute enough, not determined enough, or I do not see the dangers of watching all these entertainment videos. That's why I'm keep on going back to the old habit again.
Your mind is weak, cannot resist your defilement, your craving. So you have to develop more mindfulness, more samadhi to resist your cravings. Okay. Instead of watching YouTube, you go do walking meditation instead. Instead of watching YouTube, you go meditate instead.
Okay, I will try out.
But if your mind is weak, you cannot do that either, right? So the best thing is to get rid of all your YouTube equipment. That's the only way. Then there's no YouTube to watch. You can cut off the electricity in your house and don't use any electricity. Use candle instead. You have to create a condition where you cannot access the YouTube because you yourself is too weak. Or you have to go live in a monastery where they don't allow you to use any phone or any equipment. Like the monastery, the Siddhartha and Alex are there, they're not allowed to use their smartphone. So you have to do something. If you remain close to your YouTube, then every time you have the desire, you cannot stop. So it's a matter whether you're serious enough or not to stop this watching of YouTube. You get rid of all the equipment that you can access YouTube. Or cut off the power. That runs the YouTube. or go to live in a monastery, or live somewhere where there's no YouTube to watch. And then try to develop more meditation until your mind becomes strong enough. Then you can come back and live normally. Even if there's YouTube around, you're not interested anymore. Once you kick the habit, then it doesn't matter if you're close to it or not. But if you still have the habit, then you must not stay close to what you are addicted to, because you cannot resist. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Suchart, you raise your hand first.
Just thank you, Ajahn.
I'm not sure what's wrong with your microphone or something. Maybe it's too close or too. Your sound keep breaking. You know, it's not clear.
Oh,
Are you using your headphone?
I use the.
What do you use? Which microphone do you use? The computer microphone, or you use the?
Yes.
Not the one on your ear. Not on your earphone.
Oh, I wonder why it's a kind of a little difficult for you to listen.
Yes.
I will adjust later. Okay. So it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Try to fix your microphone first, okay? Christine, go ahead.
Ajahn, sorry, I have one question. Actually, I read or listened the sutta last time during Lord Buddha's time when he advised, not he advised, there's people when they have to practice young stage, it's much easy to achieve the achieve the enlightenment instead of practice at old age. So because I would like to advise my parents, my mom to practice more, how do I try to convey this message to her, saying that try not to wasting time, because myself also getting old. So is that how to weigh the benefit while when still young is better to practice instead of keep dragging the time until late old time?
Yes, because the older you get, the harder for you to use the body to practice. You get more illness, more sickness, and you're losing a lot more strength as you get older and older. So it's better to practice when you're younger, if it's possible. But it doesn't mean that some old people can still practice and attain also. It's not only age that determines, but generally speaking, yes. Younger age is better, stronger, less difficulties than older people. Older people have more difficulty physically to practice than younger people. But that's only one condition. The other condition is your ability to develop mindfulness or not. This doesn't rely on your age. So if you have the ability to develop mindfulness, even if you're 70-year-old, you can still practice and become enlightened.
So the distraction more come from the body that distract us to achieve better samadhi or better mental development, right? No sound, Ajahn, no sound.
Okay, back now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just the body, it's also mindfulness, which is the determining factor whether you can practice or not. So you have strong mindfulness even if your body is old. That should not be any problem. But if you are young and you don't have mindfulness, then it takes a lot of time for you to develop mindfulness first. But if you're old and you don't have mindfulness, then it's almost impossible.
Yeah, I tend to forget.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually, I see you in the Zoom meeting. I feel that you very, very friendly. And compared to last time I went to your monastery, I saw you in person. I feel I'm very scared.
Because I didn't say anything, right?
Yeah, you very, very strict. And in the Sala hall, I saw you, then you just wave your hand like have to bow down. Then I'm very scared. In the Zoom room, I feel Ajahn very, very friendly.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right, you're welcome.
Sulan is here now.
Oh, Sulan is in now. Okay, Sulan, almost run out, 10 minutes left.
Yeah, hello, Ajahn. Hope you are well. Yeah, sorry I'm late again today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any question?
I have a question. I read that in the Patimokkha that like for because they can only bathe like once every fortnight. So I was just wondering, like
this is special circumstances when you have drought and you are not have any water to drink, and you have to preserve water for drinking first. So you don't want to waste the water for washing, for bathing.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
In India, sometimes they got really bad drought, so they don't have enough water even to drink. So they have to preserve the water for drinking first.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So monks are forbid to bathe more than every 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Oh, then Ajahn, just feeling curious, like the Patimokkha, like because the rules are like so many, like how do you like remember each one of them, and like being able to even like explain the context of like why each rule was created, and also why was it necessary? Yeah.
Well, you just have to study them and then observe what the other monks are doing. Then you observe your teacher and just follow what your teacher do and don't do. That's all.
Ah, okay.
You don't have to study all the rules because some of the rules are no longer applicable anyway.
Okay.
It was not specific to the time and place. So we just observe more of the more important rules, like the precepts. But the etiquette, we can sometimes we don't have to follow because it's out of date.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think like one of the etiquette that I read was that cannot keep the eyes wandering, have to maintain keep the gaze.
That's what you still have to do because it's a practice of mindfulness.
Oh, but if you keep your gaze low, then you cannot see what is in front of you. Then wouldn't like...
No, you have to see below. You have to see ahead, but not look up into the sky or look around you. Just gaze down, but you have to see what's ahead of you.
Oh, understand now. Okay. So like even like looking around is also considered like
unmindful, not focused.
Okay.
Your mind is scattered.
But then I think in our daily life, our mind is quite scattered.
That's right. That's why when you meditate, you have to train your mind the other way. You have to keep it focused. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any more?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
all.
Do we have any more questions from Facebook? We're almost running out of time. Okay, thank you.
Yes, that's the last question. The Morning Stars question that was read earlier was not read completely, so it's going to be reread completely now. According to Ajahns Sai Tips practice, I used to practice this way, same like her a long time ago, and it was very effective for me, meaning my mind was calm and peaceful while I was observing every painful sensation. It was only bare awareness on the pain without desire for the pain to disappear. I thought that this is the way of mindfulness on Vedana, which is the teaching of the 4 foundation of mindfulness, Vipassana meditation, to see things as they really are, but not the way of practicing concentration meditation, and should be prohibited to do so if one is practicing sitting meditation and follow the forest tradition. This is the case of Ajahn Sai Tip, which implies that even the meditator practice forest meditation, he does not need to only observe breath or chanting something during sitting, but is allowed to be aware of mental phenomena with bare awareness. Is this correct, Ajahn?
No, if you want jhana, then you have to watch your breath. But if you don't want jhana, you just want to observe, use vipassana, then you don't have to watch the breath. It depends on what you want. You want to stop the mind from action, then you have to focus on the breath or some object of concentration like a mantra. But if you just want to observe things as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you don't need to watch the breath. You just watch whatever that disturbs you. And you have to watch that thing to stop your mind from being disturbed. Watching it as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Just be merely observing and not be disturbed by what you observe.
That's it, Ka.
Okay. So 2 different practices, samatha and vipassana. Okay, I think that's about all the time we have for tonight. Thank you very much for your participation. I hope this meeting will help you, make you understand better the practices of meditation or bhavana, and also other things, and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, keep on practicing, and if all goes well, I'll see you all again at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Everyone.
Thank you,
everyone.
Ajahn.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Boy. Thank you, Kunjuk.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good night. Bye.
Thank you, Kun
Thank
Abi.
you,
Thank you,
Kun
Kunjuk.
Kunjuk.
Bye, Juk.
Bye.
Bye.